Gene, thanks very much. Welcome inside Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set for the match. Gene, thanks very much. Welcome inside Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set for the matchup between the Oilers and the Predators. But first, let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. It's always 20 minutes fresh. Kevin Dubnyk beat Nashville twice last year. Both wins here in Nashville. This will be his 20th start of the season. And at the other end, 30
staff came up with big outs when they had to. This was a great game overall.
The Blue Jays win it 10-1. We are waiting right now for...
Pecorine gave up 5 goals on 13 shots Monday in L.A. He got the hook halfway through the third in a 5-1 loss to the Kings. That was the third straight loss for the Nashville Predators. They have been outscored 12-3 in those 3 games. Of course, the Oilers come in. They're trying to stop a 4-game losing streak. They lost last night in Detroit by the score of 3-0. The first time that they have been shut out this season. And we are underway. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Gordon Eberle, and Taylor Hall reunited on that top line for the Edmonton Oilers. And we get the start tonight. And that goes up into the mesh. Get a chance to take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. Louis, we know one thing, Ales Hemsky is not in the lineup.
Yeah, Ales Hemsky out tonight with that foot injury that he suffered in Detroit last night. Corey Bonner will also be a healthy scratch tonight for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben Eager step back in there and Theo Peckham on the blue line for them. So a couple of changes to get things going here. Ryan Smith will play the center position on the fourth line between, we think, Eager and Brown.
Ilya Kovacs and Gagne, Magnus Bjarvik out there now, and there he is, Theo Peckham with a blue bug and sickness to his heels. They've been kept out of the line for the last couple of games. Stanley Cup. As the puck scored 3 to the middle, there's Ryan Whitney. Long outlet pass for Gagne gets broken up and is brought right back in by Patrick Hornsmith. He is checked by Peckham. Up the middle, here comes Bjarvik. Bjarvik with 4 goals on the season. Bjarvik with 4 goals on the season. Here's Ryan Smith with 15 goals. He's got 2 goals in his last 3 games. Pass intended to him, and that was picked off before he could get there by Kevin Klein. And there is Victor Bartley playing his first NHL game, number 64 for the Nashville Predators. Played 54 games with Milwaukee, picked up 26 points. He's in the lineup, and really, I think he's a nervous guy this afternoon.
Yeah, was he ever? And you know what? The thing is, too, playing against his old teammate Jordan Eberle, he played a season and a half with him in Regina in the WHL. But an interesting story, a couple of years ago, tore his tricep muscle in one of his first games up in the American Hockey League with Binghamton and missed the whole year, couldn't find a job a couple of years ago, and had to play over in Sweden for a year. So, real nice story to see him get back into the North American game and get his first National Hockey League game.
Pressure now by the Nashville Predators, turned aside, and here comes Eric Belanger. Belanger turns in his own zone, changes for both teams as Belanger, the veteran, stays cool, and now he'll head to the bench. Ryan Smith, as you mentioned, out there with Brown and Eager, and a shout-out for Ben Eager, Louis, his 400th NHL game.
Yeah, congrats to him. You know, it's not an easy task to do, especially a big physical guy up and down, won a Stanley Cup in Chicago and playing in his 400th game. So always a milestone with the players to get to that 400.
Here's an opportunity right in front. And Martin Erat was denied. Nick Schultz, a veteran move to prevent that perfect scoring opportunity. Erat with the puck now. Erat played his junior, which seems a long time ago, as a member of the Red Deer Rebels.
Yeah, good chance there by him.
Ellis moving in. Ellis with a feed right in front of Smith. Kicked out. For the Nashville Predators, the Oilers outshot 28-22 last night in Detroit. They are 1-1-1 in the second half of back-to-back games so far. They are 1-1-1 in the second half of back-to-back games so far.
Western Conference Final.
They'll have another set of back-to-back games on March 25th right here in Nashville. And they'll be into St. Louis on March 26th. Weber moving in. Dostak shot, and that one rips wide and goes all the way back down into Nashville territory. A Nashville Predator team that is 4th in the Central, 11th in the West. They've got 23 points. The Oilers have 21 points.
Yeah, the team Kevin has had 3 days off. They haven't played since that game Monday in Los Angeles, so a few days to kind of get some meetings in, get some practices in. This is a team that has only won one game in their last 6. So you know they're going to come out here early in this game and be fired up and try and get pucks and bodies to Devin Dubin.
Gagne works his way in.
Gagne works his way in.
Was way under the net. Here's for the goal. Quickly back the other way. Hornqvist. Passes it in, and Devin Dubnik had a little trouble with it, so he's not going to take a chance, and he covers it up, and Ladislav Schmid doesn't want anybody around his goaltender, including Patrick Hornqvist.
Yeah, their top sniper. We talked about Hornqvist in the opening there and how he's a feisty guy. As Ladislav Schmid takes a little exception to him going in there, giving Dubnik a little bit of a poke. He likes to get aggressive. Here's that chance by Urat. Just a misplayed puck in the defensive zone by Edmonton. Looks like he's going to the backhand. Maybe gets a little hooked up by Schultz. But he fumbles it over top of the stick, and here's the dump in here that Dubnik can't really get a handle on. And for Hornqvist, just, didn't really poke him too much. They're a little sensitive down there on the ice. But losing 4 games in a row as the Oilers have done will make you a little testy on the ice. So I expect a little bit of fireworks like that in this game tonight because both teams are trying to get off slides.
Dubnik, so he's not going to and how he's a Patrick Hornqvist.
Yeah, the top sniper. We talked about Hornqvist.
Around his goaltender. He covers it up, and Ladislav Schmid doesn't want anybody around his goaltender, including
Schmid. They shot. Scores! The first goal for Leonard in the first period to strike first. Ladislav Schmid.
Goaltender, including Patrick Hornqvist.
Yeah, the top sniper.
Want anybody around his goaltender, including Patrick Hornqvist.
Yeah, the top sniper. We talked about Hornqvist in the opening there and how he's a feisty guy. As Ladislav Schmid takes a little exception to him going in there, giving Dubnik a little bit of a poke. He likes to get aggressive. Here's that chance by Urat. Just a misplayed puck in the defensive zone by Edmonton. Looks like he's going to the backhand. Maybe gets a little hooked up by Schultz. But he fumbles it over top of the stick, and here's the dump in here that Dubnik can't really get a handle on. And for Hornqvist, just, didn't really poke. But losing 4 games in a row as the Oilers have done will make you a little testy on the ice. So I expect a little bit of fireworks like that in this game tonight. Both teams are trying to get off. So I expect a little bit of fireworks for that in this game tonight because both teams are trying to get off slides. They're trying to get a big win.
Smith behind the net, along with Bobby Butler, picked up on waivers and Zach Boychuk. A couple of waiver pickups in the month of March.
Yeah, interesting Barry Trotz experience. It's up to them to show us what they have. This is an opportunity.
With a chance, stopped by Devin Dubnik. Ryan Jones, the former Nashville Predator. Leonard Petrell, as Louis mentioned, back in the lineup. Petrell did not rest the last 2 games. He is on the line with Jones and Malone, and he has the puck right now. Leonard Petrell from the corner. Petrell cycles down low for Jones. Malone in there to try and help out. Nick Schultz steps up and keeps that puck in. Trying to take advantage of the youngster. But back comes the Nashville Predators, and there is Butler. He gets knocked down by Schultz. And a penalty. The Nashville Predators, and there is and a penalty coming up. The first power play of the game. Is going to go to the Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. 12 built Ford Tough.
Well, Kevin, for the Edmonton Oilers, talked about patience with Ralph Kruger this morning. He's talked about a lot this year, just staying in your structure, staying in your discipline, staying in your defensive zone coverage, get the offensive opportunities when you can attack. That'll be important tonight. And for the Predators, shoot, as you mentioned, the last place team in the National Hockey League for shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion in practice and meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
And an opportunity here. They were 0-3 against Los Angeles. First power play of the game.
Shea Weber.
And Weber
Your player.
First goal on the power play. 7 seconds into the power play for the Preds. And Shea Weber is his 12th.
It's going to go. And penalty coming up the first power play of the game. Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It is still a Ford Cup.
Coach Kevin for the Edmonton Oilers talked about patience with Ralph Kruger this morning. He's talked about a lot this year, just staying in your structure, staying in your discipline, staying in your defensive zone coverage, get the offensive opportunities when you can attack. The last place team in the National Hockey League for shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion. Opportunities when you can attack will be important tonight. With Ralph Kruger this morning, he's talked about a lot this year, just staying in your structure, staying in your discipline, staying in your defensive zone coverage, get the offensive opportunities when you can attack. That'll be important tonight. And for the Predators, shoot, as you mentioned, the last place team in the National Hockey League as far as shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion in practice and meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They're getting out.
As far as shots on net this year, they've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion.
Those Turkish challenge. Prior to the goal.
Practice and shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion in practice and meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They'll get an opportunity here. They were 0 for 3 against Shane Weber. One goal for here. They were 0 for 3 against the playoffs.
Fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They'll get an opportunity here. They were 0 for 3 against the playoffs.
Fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They'll get an opportunity.
Meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They'll get an opportunity here. They were 0 for 3 against the Los Angeles
Team in the National Hockey League.
Challenge. And they're going to go offside. And they're going to go offside. The dog that stands. No goal.
No item in.
So, what? Still the score.
Opportunities when you can attack. As you mentioned, the last place team in the National Hockey League as far as shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion in practice and meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They'll get an opportunity here. They were 0 for 3.
They want to fire more pucks to the net tonight.
They'll get an opportunity here. They were 0 for 3 against Los Angeles in that game on Monday. They've got that 1 power play goal in their last 6 games.
2 minutes in slashing at 4:50.
10th ranked at home. Nashville. 7 of their 10 power play goals have come here at Richmond. 26 overall when it comes to power play. The Oilers, of course, very good special teams. 6th ranked penalty killer. Shane Weber, dangerous on the point. Naturally, he'll be up there to start it, and he's got the puck right now. Chips that puck in. Hornquist sends it around the boards. Colin Wilson, leader in assist points, along with Mike Fisher. Trying to keep it in. Was Kostitsin, an opportunity now for Jones. Breaking in, shorthanded. Jones stopped by Rennes. The first shot of the game by Pecorine is a breakaway. The Oilers with 3 shorthanded goals this season. Taking advantage of the forward at the point, Sergei Kostitsin. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get into Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Unable to capitalize on it and put it home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Slot shot. Fisher makes it. And it's Hornquist. Fisher finds the season. Taking advantage of the forward at the point, Sergei Kostitsin. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Unable to get the forward at the point, Sergei Kostitsin. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Unable to capitalize on it and put it home, though. Was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Fisher makes it. The Oilers with 3 shorthanded goals this season. Taking advantage of the forward at the point, Sergei Kostitsin. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Unable to.
They finally get a puck by Kostitsin.
Last night in Detroit.
Here in the blue paint.
He scored. Here we go. He fought Jordan Tooth. Mike Brown now going with of the season.
Paint. Good, solid save. Relentless getting pucks into that drives it home for a one.
And picked up on waivers January the 15th from Los Angeles. He fought his second fight in a row for Mike Brown.
Oh, here we go, right off the face-off. Brown and
Face-off. Brown and Clune again. And this time Mike Brown comes up with left hand.
Left winger.
His second fight in a row for Mike Brown.
First fight.
He fought Jordan Tutu last night in Detroit. Clune, a tough customer, picked up on waivers January the 15th from Los Angeles. Mike Brown now going with uppercut for his right hand.
In game 3.
This one, again, this flurry of punches right off the face-off. Mike Brown and Rich Clune. The gloves are off here in Nashville. We'll be back right after this. We'll be back right after this.
Oilers have tied the series now 1 game apiece.
Right after
the Stanley Cup Western Conference Finals.
Well, a couple of Edmontonians. Dr. Wang, yeah, that's his name, and Cooper enjoying themselves here in Nashville. And Oiler fans, you get a chance to enjoy yourself as you have an opportunity to decide which minor hockey teams get the chance to train like the pros with the 4 Drills and Skills contest. Go to 4drillsandskills.ca to see which teams made it through to the final round and cast your vote for the winners. Voting closes March 30th. Well, Kevin, a little fireworks there to start things off. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see Brown and Clune square off, and both of these guys throw the rapid punches early on. Both of them get their shots in. And the third time that these two have fought each other in their career, the first 2 fights were down in the American Hockey League. In back-to-back games, they fought each of those games. So they know each other very well.
And Brown has now fought 7. Puck out to center.
Ever draft pick by the Nashville Predators, picked 2nd overall in 1998. He's been here. This is his 13th year now in the Nashville Predators uniform. So a terrific career for him, all in one city. And
game 3
guys that definitely is the leader here.
Fisher with a shot glove save by Dubnyk. And once again, Hornquist right in his kitchen.
Nashville's done a pretty good job here in this game so far of really transitioning quickly. When pucks turn over in the neutral zone, they get on the offense very quickly, driving through the net. Big shot from the wide angle, looking for a rebound. But Devin Dubnyk snatches that up and says, I don't think so. And that'll be important tonight for Dubnyk, not allow those pucks to drop down in front of him, because Nashville's going to have that presence in front. And it's something they talked about all week long, and they weren't happy about it this morning in the dressing room, the way they've been playing.
Ryan Ellis with a shot, the 7th. Of this period for the Nashville Predators. So, Louis, what do you think they were working on in practice?
Absolutely.
Boychuk stopped. And here is Jones. Had that one chance, the one shot here. Others have so far is a breakaway opportunity, shorthanded, stopped by Pecorino. There, Eager's got the puck line of center. It comes to Jones. He tried to get that puck to settle down. Now all kinds of traffic in front of Pecorino.
This is the legendary stubby pencil, one of many used to win a total of $7 million last year. Amazing.
Get your game on with tools.
Well, Kevin, as you mentioned, Ryan Jones had a breakthrough a little earlier on, has another good chance here, but gets kind of bowling ball through as he tries to get that bouncing puck to the net. Good job by Eager and Smith on the forecheck. One body contact, separate puck, get it to the net, and everybody converges, and that's the type of hockey you like to see.
And that's got to be the type of hockey from that line.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have to have that grit.
1 minute 17 seconds of 1
into the mesh. Get a chance to take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. Louis, we know one thing, Alashensky is not in the lineup.
Yeah, Alashensky out tonight with that foot injury that he suffered in Detroit last night. Corey Potter will also be a healthy scratch tonight for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben Eager step back in there and Theo Peckham on the blue line for them. So a couple of changes to get things going here. Ryan Smith will play the center position for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben Eager step back in there and Theo Peckham on the blue line for them. So a couple of changes to get things going here. Ryan Smith will play the center position on the fourth line between, we think, Eager and Brown.
Ilya Kopovs and Gagne, Magnus Bjarvik out there now, and there is Theo Peckham with a
10 minutes.
the Predators. Set
Stubby pencil.
Well, Kevin, not so far they haven't been able to. As Nashville's come out really aggressive here. But that's how you wear down teams.
8 shots for Nashville, just 1 for the Oilers so far. We've got 11:41 to go in this first period. Race for the puck. Again, just for Schultz. The puck still free, and it's picked up by Gagne. Gagne to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov, opposite corner. He's got Piarvi streaking in against Weber. Plays it in front. Yakupov picks it up in the far corner. Plays it all the way back to the point. Schmid was outside the blue line, and the Oilers. A thing that Nugent Hopkins has been seeing all year. The best defenders in the league trying to shut down Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Martin Erat. Another goal. Off the handle, off the end of the stick for Petrell. Ellis brings it right back in.
No item in.
Shot by Erat, chipped up off the glass and down, and shot down the ice, but not out. Ellis fired it. There is Schultz with a block shot. Oilers trying to get it out. Ryan Jones on the near side. Cross-ice feed for Erat, and that was Petrell who picked it off. Got it to Belanger, and Belanger sent that puck the rest of the way. And the Oilers want to get a change. 9 shots for the Predators. As Louis mentioned, the lowest shot total on average in the National Hockey League, just 23.9 coming into this game. But Lou, I didn't do so well in math, but they got 27. Right now, they keep this up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they obviously took the message from Barry Trotz and the coaching staff over the last 3 days. They worked on it. And Shea Weber mentioned it this morning, and that's a guy you don't have to tell to shoot the puck. He loves to get pucks to the net, but as a team, as a whole, they're trying to just force that issue and get the pucks into that danger zone, bodies crashing. That's a Barry Trotz team. Get pucks to the net, get bodies there, banging the goal, much like you saw Hornqvist do early on in this game. From 1 foot away from the goal net. So, I mean, that's the type of hockey they want to play. And they just got away from it. They hadn't been doing it.
That puck knocked down with a high stick. Tell us Oilers hockey, and it's right here on Sports.
3 Oilers. The Predators tied this series. Lead at 1.
Oilers
the Western
hockey,
Conference
and it's right here on
Sportsnet.
Well, as Kevin and Louis spoke of a little earlier, Theo Peckham missed the last game because of illness, and it started the night before the Columbus game. He went out for dinner with a friend, and he went out for sushi. Now, he had the yellowtail sushi, which is more raw than he normally eats when it comes to that. What he likes to generally have is the California rolls. He believes that it was that made him sick, because ever since he's been ill, he's been fishing for answers.
I think it'll be a while before he has sushi again, at least the yellowtail. But he's out there now with Ryan Whitney. 8:38 to go in this first period. 1 goal is in the game. A power play marker for the Predators at 6:07. Opportunity right now. That one deflected just wide. Klein trying to keep it in against Peckham. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson battling. Leglois ends up with David Leglois. Gives it to Klein. Kevin Klein did not get the shot. Leglois in there to help out. The puck's still alive along the near side. Now it squirts free. And Nail Yakupov starts away. Yakupov stops, looking for Magnus Piarvi just out of his reach. Bounce down the ice by Wilson. And Justin Schultz is going to go back and touch it. And that's going to be ice.
Well, Kevin, you have to be sharp in the defensive zone. You can't give pucks away. Here for Gagne, just tries to get this pass up the wall through 2 Nashville Predator players. Not a real high percentage play, especially from behind your own net. That pass goes wide. Gagne looked down at a stick afterward. Didn't get all the draft right, I guess, on it that he wanted to. But the better decision might have been just to put it around the boards that way instead of trying to go through 2 bodies. And those are the types of plays that can really cost you and deflate you as a team. So something you have to dial in the defensive zone.
Nugent Hopkins wins the draw. Nick Schultz got a shot right away. Got the puck again, throws it towards the net. This time a wrist shot. It doesn't make it through, and it's bounced out by Klein. Top line on the ice for the Oilers with 7.5 minutes to go in this first period. The shots are 9-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Hall gets by Klein. Hall moving in. A wrist shot. Pad save. Big rebound. And it's picked up by David Leglois. Ford. Wrist shot. Blocker save. Weber inches in. The puck comes right off the referee and comes right out in front. Leonard Petrell bounces it off the boards and gets it out. That could have been dangerous. Speaking of dangerous. Yeah, Weber. Off his skate. Petrell is there. So is Schmid. Petrie. Now the pass intended for Ryan Jones, but Jones is turning the wrong way. Centered out. That goes right through the crease. Back to the point. Ellis with it now. Ellis turns, fires a blast, and Devin Dubnyk. He had Gosted providing the screen. Hangs on to it.
What do you think I do for a living?
You're a librarian. You tell people to shh.
I'm the assistant curator of the college's printed materials archive. And I make the coffee.
So you're a wannabe librarian?
Shh.
Couch City's new comedy, Seed, part of Monday's Blockbuster Comedy Night, the #1 most watched night of the week.
Nashville Predators will entertain Minnesota on Saturday, and that means Ryan Suter. Nashville Predators will entertain Minnesota on Saturday, and that means Ryan Suter's first game back here in the Music City. May.24.
You mean tomorrow?
What did I say? Saturday?
It's Saturday. But it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's been a long trip.
So right. Technically, tomorrow is Saturday. And he's Stanley Cup final helmet.
Two thirds. You know, nice homecoming for him coming back here, and obviously a place that was special to him. It was a big offseason move to see him go to Minnesota along with Zach Parise, two big free agent market players that were out there available. Two of them anyway. So, but we were talking with the Nashville Predators this morning, and some of the players, obviously a big loss not having Suter here. But there's been a lot of guys that have stepped in there and really filled in those spots nicely and eaten up a few more minutes in the back end.
And using the waiver wire, we've talked about a couple of those players, and that's one way to get players into the wire. We've talked about a couple of those players, and that's one way to get players in, get them out, see if they can do the job.
The series.
Why not?
Take a flyer, right? You know, you look at Boychuk, a former first-round pick. You know, bring him in here, see if he can maybe kickstart his career and get things going. Hasn't really been able to do it at the National Hockey League level, but in the American Hockey League has been a real good player and was playing very well this year to start things off. So maybe he comes in here and gets fired up. And as you mentioned before, also Bobby Butler. So a couple opportunities for guys to step in. A team that hasn't played well, you come in and play well, you'll be in the lineup at Barry Trotz.
Race for the puck, and Klein gets there first and gets the icing. So after that game, which is both tomorrow and Saturday, Nashville's going to head out on a 5-game road trip. And critical time. The Oilers, of course, the road trip will continue. You can see what's happening with the guys picking up the slack. The big one, Louis, got to be Roman Josi.
Yeah, no question about it. And obviously playing with Shea Weber, you know, as a V partner. He says he's not trying to replace Ryan Suter. He says, I'm going out there just trying to play the best that I can. You can see all those minutes that are going up. Scott Hannon, a veteran presence that was brought in here as well to kind of buffer that.
Weber's shot is blocked by PRB, sends it down the ice. The Oilers making a change, and the Yakupov is basically on his own trying to keep that puck in. Flipped in by Ford. Picked up by Petrie. For Jeff Petrie. All 5 of his points this season have come on this trip. Leglois with a backhand that misses.
And his first fighting major as well. So I saw him give Gostad a little shot there. Who didn't like the way that he took him into the board, so he gives him a cross check.
Here's a 2-on-1. Jordan Eberle moving in. And he was checked by Weber. And Weber tried to get his hand on it. If he'd done that, it would have been a penalty. Old habits dying hard here for the veterans.
I don't know how he missed it. It looked like he got a piece of the puck, but I guess he didn't. And from up here, I thought maybe he had touched the puck with his hand. But you're allowed to bump it with your hand. You just can't put your hand over top of it. But you're right. That was a reaction by Weber.
We have seen that a few times. Scott Hannon keeps it in. Scott Hannon wearing number 22. There was a guy playing with Detroit we saw last night that made 22 famous in this town for a long time.
Pretty spirited fight with Mike Brown here, Jordan Tucci. That was some high octane there. Mike Brown's first fight, gets in his second one here in his third game with the Oilers. That's why he was brought in here, to be that physical presence and every once in a while drop the gloves and get going. And he's shown that he's doing just that.
Gostad Long lead pass for Ellis. Too far for him. That's going to be icing.
Well, a good rush here and one of the transitional plays for Edmonton. We haven't seen a whole lot of it here. One breakaway by Ryan Jones on the penalty kill, but here a 2-on-1 develops. And for Eberle, he just tries to get this through the skates of Shea Weber. And in that stopping process, watch him slam on the brakes here. He kind of gets a piece of it. And then right there, he knows that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is coming in. As part of, I think it was Wilson's stick that came in and moved out of the way of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and I think prevented Shea Weber from taking a 2-minute penalty. Because he would have grabbed that puck. You know, when you're in that situation, I guess you're saying, hey, I'll take my chances on the power play or the penalty kill as opposed to a player getting a real high-quality chance. And maybe it was on purpose.
Well, the Oilers did not get a power play in that game in Detroit last night.
I could never process the game that fast. That was on purpose.
Back to the point. Here is Peckham's shot and all kinds of traffic. And look at Ryan Smith. He was actually in behind Pecorine.
I think he went right over top of him. Wow. Smith gave him a cross-check and he just kind of stumbled over top of Rene. But that's when you know you have a good presence in front when you're making contact with a goaltender like that.
A big goaltender, too. Both guys 6'5" in this game tonight as Gagne across the blue line. Gagne blocked by Shea Weber. Justin Schultz able to keep it in. Just over 3 minutes left to go in this first period.
Does Shea Weber ever go off the ice?
He is on a ton, averaging 25.54. He is 8th in the league in ice time. Here is Magnus Pärvi across the line. Pärvi stops, fires a wrist shot. Pecorine steers that aside, kept in at the blue line, temporarily at least by Schultz. And now Nick Schultz going to go back and get it. No icing on the play. Gagne. Tip pass up for Yakupov. He gets it right back to Pärvi. Pärvi chips and chases himself. Pecorine has to go out and play it and does.
Just in the nick of time. He had to wait for that puck to get out of that zone. He can't play the puck there. And Pärvi with his speed, I think, got a piece of it. So good job by him to hustle in there. And a icing here by Nashville. So for Pärvi, he's had a couple real good games in a row. Scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he is looking for his first point against the Preds. The Oilers were 3-1 last year, including his sit off the top 2-0 here in Nashville. They're 1-3-2 against Central Division teams. They'll play another pretty good Central Division team on Sunday. Back into Chicago, where this road trip all began. We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet. 2 minutes. Back into Chicago, where this road trip all began. We'll have that game into Chicago, where this road trip all began.
Of the Stanley Cup Western Conference Finals.
Into Chicago, where this road
We'll have that
all
one for you on Hockey Night in Canada.
We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet.
So the game
all began
on May 24th.
We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet.
May 26th. In Game 6.
2 minutes left to go for you on Sportsnet.
And the final.
2 minutes. We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet.
Stanley Cup Final.
2 minutes. We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet.
On May 31st.
2 minutes left to go in this first period. Dumped in by Bradley. Paul gets caught up. Here is Bork. Keeping it in. Throws it towards net. Goes wide. Beglon's got it. Beglon gets it to Bork. Could not get the shot. Paul was back defensively. Now Nugent-Hopkins. He'll chip it in. Go after it against Hannon. Puck squirts free. And the Nashville Predators able to get it out to center. Theo Peckham has it caught up in his skates. And he took it away from both Bork and Wilson. Belanger keeps it in. Belanger, sharp angle shot. He had Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances for that line. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances for that line.
Petrell shoots. He scores!
No item indeed.
Leonard Petrell! First goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs! makes it 2-0 Oilers.
Hop there. But it was to the right as it hits the ice. Just a little tiny hop there and goes right through Devin Dubnyk. And those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. And you know, you come out, you don't put tiny hop. Dubnyk's left. But it was to the right as it hits the ice. Just a little tiny hop there and goes right through Devin Dubnyk. And those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. And you know, you come out, you don't play it fully 100%. It gets by you. After a couple of those little plays, back-to-back games, Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. This thing take a little bounce to Dubnyk's left. But it was to the right as it hits the ice. Just a little tiny hop there and go. But it was to the right as it hits the ice. Just a little tiny hop.
There was a play that was under review.
There and goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little.
Play under review. The goaltender's challenge. Fires to the goal.
Plays back to Dubnyk's left. Goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. It's to the right as it just thing take a little bounce to Dubnyk there and goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active. Goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. To the right as it hits the ice, just a little tiny hop there and goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been left. But it was to the right as it hits the ice, just a little tiny hop. It's left. But it was to the right as it hits the ice, just a little tiny hop there and goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. And you know, you come out, you don't play it to Dubnyk's left. But it was to the in here. Watch this thing take a little bounce to Dubnyk.
The ball in the ice stands, no goal.
Dubnyk's left. But it was to the right as it hits the.
Get his first goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Period.
Oilers with 1 minute left in the first period, and they still lead to 1-0.
Here, and just a little knuckle puck that gets chipped in here. Watch this thing take a little bounce to Dubnyk's left. But it was to the right as it hits the ice, just a little tiny hop on Dubnyk's left. But it was to the right as it hits the ice, just a little tiny hop there and goes right through Devin Dubnyk, and those are those little plays, back-to-back games. Dubnyk's been an active goaltender this year. Dubnyk, and those are.
And there was something happening in the game. With the Oilers for So, the Oilers, just 1 minute left in the first period, and they will have a penalty call against the Oilers.
Little bounce to Dubnyk's left.
Into
Harvey's had a couple. Wait for that puck to get out of that.
for Yakubov. He gives it right back to Viardi.
With his speed, I think got a piece of it. So good job by him to hustle in there. And a nice thing here by Nashville. So for PRV's had a good job by him to hustle in there. And a nice thing here by Nashville. So for PRV's had a couple real good games in a row. Scored 2 goals in succession. His speed, I think, got a piece of it. So good job by him to hustle in there. And a nice thing here by Nashville. So for PRV's had a couple real good games in a row. Scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to hustle in there. And a nice thing here by Nashville. So for PRV's had a couple real good games in a row. Scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has real Nashville. So for PRV's had a couple real good games in a row. Scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's... Real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession.
It's his third time. The Oilers with 10-minute misconduct.
In a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. Rowe scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective. Nothing lost to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. That second line is the way that he has to play. And PRV's had a couple real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he's
best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career.
The way that he has to play, and he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective. He's been using it.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he's looking for his first point against the Predators. The Oilers were 3-1 last year, including his sit off the top 2-0 here in Nashville. They're 1-3-2 against Central Divisions. Self-Ekarina. Nick Schultz going to go back and get it. No icing on the play. Gagne.
Shea Weber ever fly to the top arena, but that's when you know you have a good presence in this game.
Justin Schultz aside.
Up to get out of that zone. Scored 2 goals. He has PRV with his just in the nick of time. He had to wait for that puck to get out of that zone. He can't play the puck. And PRV with his speed, I think, got a piece of it. So good job by him to hustle in there. And a nice thing here by Nashville. So for PRV, he's had a couple real good games in a row. That zone, he can't play the puck, and PRV with it. So for PRV, he's had a couple real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. He plays his...
We'll try to get the monitors working. The Oilers, I think the monitors are working right now. Or maybe not.
He had to wait for that puck to get out of that zone. He can't play the puck, and PRV with his... So for PRV, he's had a couple real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. He plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is 8.
It's the obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him, 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he is looking for his first point against the Preds. The Oilers across the line. PRV step right in.
The line is the win by Nashville. So for PRV, he's had a couple real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. He plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he's
play keyboard.
He had to wait for that puck to get
for Yakubov. He gets it right back to PRV. PRV chips
a piece of it. So good job, and he's been using it lately.
This including his
thing here by Nashville with his speed. I think got a piece of it. So good job by him to hustle in there. And a nice thing here by Nashville. So for PRV, he's had a couple real good games in a row. Scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating.
Aiden Parker.
He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective.
Action menu.
He's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he is looking for his first point.
Communication
Play keyboard shortcut
from the NHL in this facility,
no item
National Hockey League in Toronto, to just let everyone league-wide know that needs to know what exactly has transpired and may in fact transpire moving forward tonight. And again, the presence of an ambulance is vital to the continuation of this game. The team doctor, we're told, has left with the team doctor, we're told, has left with the individual involved in this episode. And of course, the game cannot resume also without the team doctor being present. So that's another factor at play if we're discussing the resumption of this game in a timely fashion. You have to have a couple of different factors come to fruition. The team doctor, we're told, has left with the individual involved in this episode. And of course, the game cannot resume also without the team doctor being present. So that's another factor at play if we're discussing the resumption of this game in a timely fashion. You have to have a couple of different factors come to fruition as far as that's concerned. So we'll continue to relay the information as possible. Respect for what's occurred here.
Chris Lee just came over and told the bench if they want to get on the ice and go for a skate to stay loose, it could be a little bit longer. They're not sure as to how long it's going to be, so both teams will get on the ice and continue to skate around here.
So now obviously the players limbering up. And Louis, I don't know if you've experienced anything like this in your own playing career, but I imagine as a
and he'll take a whole bunch of those.
Impact on you in terms of restarting the engine a little bit.
It does. You know, medical emergencies in any capacity in hockey games, and there's been a few of them, of course, in my career, serious ones. And some ones that are in the stands that you don't necessarily know exactly what's going on. I think the players, most of them probably don't have a true understanding of what's happening. They are somebody under stress and taking care of it. And that's exactly what they would want to have happen. That's right now all priority is to the individual.
More action. Heading level 3. Heading level.
So that's level 3.
OS Paralamas. Heading level 3. More alt, full screen. 14, seek slider at.
It was right behind the bench, so it was impossible for them not to witness that. And everybody in the building here understood there was something going on too, and it's very quiet.
So that's head athletic trainer TD Force giving Chris Lee an update as to what's going on. Corey Sabret. There's also communication, obviously, between league sources here and in Toronto, and it looks like we've got a doctor back in the mix, and it looks like we're ready to resume the game. So Calgary, a quick start here in the first minute 15 as they're in the power play.
Pause keyboard shift. No item
goals this year. We'll resume this hockey game. Good chances. You come out, you don't play it 62 seconds left in the first period.
After a couple of real good chances in the offensive zone by his team.
And just wanted to get the puck down the ice and get off on a line change. Ice conditions may not be optimal here
No item in
at
YouTube
Bridgestone
video
Arena.
player
They've
group.
had 2 concerts in the building this week. And that may explain some of it, but you know Devin Dubnik's not going to use that as an excuse. The Oilers are down by 2. Gostad's shot is blocked. We're down to 35 seconds. For Legwand, his 4th goal came in
Nashville
without a goal
Predators
in his last 8
2012
games.
Stanley Cup playoff. Pause keyboard short. Alert. Alert. No item in use.
Louis, you see a lot of those in spring training, the bad hop. A shortstop will get an error, a goalie gets a goal. Yakupov. Oilers want to get out of this period and will. Being outshot 13-8. And they're down 2-0.
30 minutes,
Story
30.
here so far in the Music City.
30 minutes.
2-0.
You keep
That's the story here so far.
At 1 game apiece.
2-0.
They will look for
That's the story here.
extent.
And they're down. All the notes for the Oilers right.
The NHL.
That's the story here so far in the Music City.
Finals.
All the notes for the Oilers right now. Pretty sour, Brad.
Well said, Kevin Quinn, Neil Smith, Brad May alongside here. When we come back, we'll break down the first.
no item in.
Gill night here at Bridgestone Arena. First off, there he is on the front of the program that they're handing out. But this is really impressive, and I might need some help here. For the first 4,000 kids under the age of 12, they're giving them a life-size poster of Hal. Now, Hal, as you know, is 6'7", and there's a look at the poster. How big this thing is. I was talking to him about it this morning, and he has an uncle above 6 feet, but otherwise, everybody else in the family is below the 6 foot mark. I asked him how he got so tall, and he said a lot of milk and a lot of McDonald's. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's one Hal of a story. Up to you guys.
All right, Gene, the big goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers is on the bench, and Jan Denis, for the second time this season, has come on in relief. Denis' last appearance was January the 22nd when he came in against the San Jose Sharks, stopped all 14 shots he faced. Devin Dubnyk gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in that first period. The last one, that bouncing puck from David Legwand. And at the other end, Louis Pecorine knows exactly how he feels because he gave up 5 goals on 13 shots in L.A.
Yeah, you know what, for Devin Dubnyk, obviously has played 5 straight, as Gene was talking about, his back-to-back game, and just a little mental lapse there. And he's logged a lot of minutes for Edmonton this year. Get Jan Denis in there, maybe spark the team. I don't mind this move by Ralph Kruger right now, down 2-0. You've got 40 minutes to play. The last time this guy stepped between the pipes, as he mentioned, back against the San Jose Sharks on January 22nd, he did not give up a goal, and his team scored 3 in front of him.
Gostad tries to test him with a wraparound. Gostad calling for the puck when he comes in front. Bloom gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gostad again. Weber in front as well. And then in front. Gostad calling for the puck when
he did not give up a goal, and his team scored 3 in front of him.
Gostad tries to test him with a wraparound. Gostad calling for the puck when he test him with a wraparound. Gostad calling for the puck when he comes in front. Bloom gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gostad again. Weber in front as well. And then when he comes in front. Bloom gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gostad again. Weber in front as well. And then comes in front.
Zone has been right there in that spot.
Hat trick is Rich Clune. Claimed on waivers from the last halfway through the month of January. And the Predators have a 3-0 lead. 51 seconds into this second period. Icing call. The 30 will go back to get it. And we'll get an icing call. Jan Denis down in OKC, 16-13-3. The 31-year-old in his 52nd NHL game. He was 16, 21, and 4 so far in his National Hockey League career. And as you mentioned, Louis, came in and relief stopped every shot. So this is the first goal he has given up this season in a relief role.
Yeah, a tough one. Obviously the first or second shot rather for that, because it was on the rebound off of Clune's first opportunity to drive it to the net. He gets scored on. But you know what? For Jan Denis, been around. He's a journeyman. He's been a backup goaltender before in the National Hockey League. Spent time in the American Hockey League on multiple teams. So he knows how to dial it in. And I'm sure we'll regroup after that one. And the team in front of him, too, as well. A little bit of a defensive zone collapse there by them. Led to that goal. Good cycle by Nashville. But for Edmonton, who's having a real difficult time, as we've seen in the last few games, getting pucks into the offensive zone and establishing that down-low play themselves.
One more Predators goal, and your game ticket is
now let's go downstairs to James.
Shutouts Western. If the Predators score 4 goals, take your ticket to our participating.
Well, a reminder that TELUS Flames hockey is coming up next. Calgary will most certainly pay close attention to the newest multi-millionaire in the Anaheim lineup. That is Brian Ketzlaff.
Yep. $8 million for 8 years. And you're talking about the face of the franchise in terms of Shea Weber. Guess who is now definitely the face of the franchise for the Anaheim Ducks?
Yeah, obviously they believe that too with that big deal that he signed. And a terrific season so far for Anaheim with 35 points. They sit second in the Western Conference and second overall in the National Hockey League. So a real good, strong start by them in this shortened season.
Van Eager going after that puck against Ellis. Eager one-hands that puck looking for Brown. Brown gets spun around. Ryan Smith, Mike Brown, and Ben Eager on the ice right now as it is chipped in at the end of the shift. Line number 19. Bobby Butler. Nugent Hopkins and a big hit. Bringing it in is Eberle. Eberle, toe drag shot, and that one gets deflected up of Pekka Rinne and up into the netting.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Get your game on with Pools.
Now as Richard Clune once again takes a big run at Jordan Eberle, goes into the boards. For Theo Peckham, who was out there, he didn't see the original hit, but I think someone said something to him along the bench. And it wasn't the fact that he hits Eberle. It's 3-0. He takes a run at one of your top players, so Peckham goes over and gives him a little bump on the way back to the bench, tries to get him engaged. Already one scrap tonight for Clune, who coming into the season only played 14 games back with the Los Angeles Kings a few years ago, so a real nice start to the season for him. Has grinded his way to a National Hockey League spot and wants to stay here.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins back to get it. Theo Peckham, another hit. And getting up slowly is Hornquist, and Hornquist is hurt. Hornquist making his way to the bench, as you said, clutching his shoulder after the hit by Theo Peckham.
All for Theo Peckham. He says, you're going to take a run at one of our top guys. I'll take a run at one of your top guys. And he has Hornquist target.
Nugent Hopkins fires that puck just wide. Quickly back the other way. Colin Wilson across the blue line. Left it there, and a pass intended for Wojciech didn't work. Hall takes the look. He has some time. Well, Rich Clune and Theo Peckham came together before, Louis. I think they might have to come together again.
We'll see. I think there's going to be a little more rough stuff out here. Obviously, Edmonton's starting to find their legs here in the last couple of minutes.
Gagne cutting from net, backhand, stopped by Pekka Rinne. Trying to jam it home. As Sam Gagne, the leading point getter in this team, has 21 points on the season. Bork and Legwand. They behind the net. Bouncing puck. Petrie sends it around the boards. Legwand lays it back to the point, but Nail Yakupov was there. His outlet pass for Bjarvi too far, and it's shot right back in by Klein. Quick up, tipped in by Gagne. Pokes it to the corner, has to scramble back into the net. Magnus Bjarvi with it now. He gets surrounded on the boards. And here comes Erat. Erat's shot. That one goes wide. Shot out there by Bobby Butler. Smith Trying to get around Nick Schultz, can't do it. Ellis' shot gets deflected, and that goes up into the netting. And not the stick right out of the hands of Eric Belanger.
Good job by him to get it there to deflect that shot by Ellis over the glass. Here's the hit by Peckham here as he just kind of rides Hornqvist into the boards afterwards. He stays with him, kind of gives him a little bit of a shove afterwards into the boards. It was the angle that Hornqvist was in when he went into the boards. And we've seen that happen a lot. This year especially, we saw Patrick Sharp suffer an injury like that a couple of games ago for Chicago. He's going to miss some time, and here's a good chance again by Gagne right after that hit, goes down the other way and gets a good backhand opportunity on Pekka-Rinne with the traffic in front.
Hornqvist missed 10 games with a knee injury. And he's hurt right now, but his team is not. Cannon shot up high. Gostad in the face of Jan Denis. They keep it in. Kostitsin. Circling the net is Clune. Rich Clune lays it to the corner. Picked up by Kostitsin. Gostad is in front. The puck comes to the middle for Clune. And here is Gostad right to the side of the net. It popped over his stick. He gets it again. Tries the one-handing centering pass. And a penalty on the way. And now some more rough stuff. And there is Peckham and Clune. We knew this was coming, but it's not. Again, tries the one-handing centering pass. And a penalty on the way, and now some more rough stuff in there. It's not in game 3! Theo Peckham slips and goes down. And that's Gostad who comes right after Theo Peckham.
Fair Jocelyn in front the whole time. For Gostad, 6'5", finds himself in front. For Peckham, he doesn't want to cross-check him too hard from behind, so he moves in front to try and get in front of the shot taker. And a round of applause here for Gostad after that hit on Hornqvist. The fans here
Deafening
know that.
Nashville Predators
Peckham
chance.
was the guy.
Surge Nat. Clear Surge combo.
He played this way, physical, aggressive, and right here afterwards, there's the shot by Gostad. They get going here. Just unfortunately for Peckham, loses his
Deafening Nashville.
Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5".
Action men. Heading level 3. Ravens fans chanting bullshit. Search filter. Heading.
And you know, I like when the field Peckham plays with that. He plays nasty. He gets it by penalty in this game.
No item in you. No. Surge football. Use in. Seeks life.
We're trying to be saying I was trying to call. Time out and get your attention. The NFL cracked down on coaches coming out on the field this week and trying to intimidate these
crowd
refs.
cheers and applause.
Harbaugh was still worked up over that last call. Comes out there, who knows what he was doing. He's claiming he was trying to call a timeout. The official wasn't buying it. He's begging the official to come over and talk to him, and instead he got a flag. He's saying, I'm trying to call a timeout. He's claiming
pause
he was
keyboard
trying to
shortcut
call a
K
timeout.
button
The official wasn't buying it. He's begging the
no
official
item
to
in
come
view.
over and talk to him, and instead
No item in view. Pause keyboard.
2 minutes for slashing.
YouTube. Speak.
Hockey games.
To the middle of the 220 pounds. There were penalties. The Edmonton Oilers.
His balance and falls down early.
Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5".
His balance and falls down
It
early.
would be a good goal penalty. Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5", 223 pounds.
And you know, I like
No No idea.
Pekka plays with an edge. He plays nasty. He gets in the grill of the opposition, and he's skilled enough and athletic enough to lay those big hits on good players. And he's going to have to answer the bell from time to time, but I like the other aspect of it more, making it a hard night for the offensive players of the opposition, which hasn't been the case too much this year for Edmonton.
And it can't all be on Mike Brown.
No, absolutely. It's that team toughness. You want everybody to kind of chip in. You saw Sam Gandhi the last shift get a good hit in on the forecheck. Everybody has to buy into that system, play a physical game, a skating game, a tight checking game, and make it a hard night. And that's how you have that team tough.
Net. YouTube video player. Nashville crowd cheers and
the Nashville Predators, their second power play for Gostad. And here is on the side of the net, popped over his stick. Here come the Oilers. The one-handing centering pass. Everly. And a penalty on the way.
Score!
people.
Jordan Everly! A power play goal makes it 2-0 Oilers!
60 volume. 60 volume group image. 100 volume group image.
They were jostling in front the whole time, and for Gostad, 6'5", planting himself in front. For Pekka, he doesn't want to cross-check him too hard from behind, so he moves in front to try and get in front of the shot taker.
Crowd cheers.
And a round of applause here for Gostad after that hit on Hornquist. The fans here know that Peckham was the guy. But Peckham very willing to drop the gloves. This is the way he happens to play, and he has played this way. As it Alex Hensky for Gostad. For that hit on Hornquist, the fans here know that Peckham was the guy. But Peckham very willing to drop the gloves. This is the way he has to play, and he has played this way. Physical, aggressive, and right here afterwards, there's the shot by Gostad. They get going here, and just, unfortunately for Peckham, loses his balance and falls down early.
Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5", 200.
Loses his balance and falls down early. Just, unfortunately for Peckham,
he
loses his balance.
But
once it falls down early.
Yes, Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5", 223 pounds.
And I like it when Theo Peckham plays with an edge. He plays nasty. He gets in the grill of the opposition. Making it a hard night for the offensive play.
It can't all be on Mike Brown.
No, absolutely. It's that team toughness. You want everybody to kind of chip in. You saw Sam Gandhi the last shift get a good hit in.
Gostad and Peckham set.
Have that team toughness.
Gostad and Peckham set.
That's Peckham.
Power play for the Nashville Predators. Their second power play of this game.
Nashville Predators!
Crowd cheer.
They got a goal to start this game in 6:07, and it was Hornquist who got the goal. Hornquist out of the game right now with what is believed to be a shoulder injury.
The RV in the box, 2 minutes for holding on that whole sequence that was happening in the offensive zone for Nashville. So their second power play, as you mentioned, Kevin, and a power play that has struggled as of late. Only one power play goal in the previous 6 games coming tonight before that goal by Hornquist.
Kostitsin moves to the middle, dishes off, right in front.
Right in front!
Mike Fisher, but he covers up. He was covered up at 8 of them, 9 in power play goals. They had just 10. They have 11 now. 8 of them have been scored at home. Fisher drops it back for Weber. He was covered. An opportunity for Petrell, and he'll send it the length of the ice. The Oilers 6th in penalty killing in the league, 6th on the road. 49 seconds left to go in the penalty to Magnus Bjarvik. Martin Erat across the blue line, dishes off. Craig Smith back to the point it comes. Erat to Smith. Smith back up top. Kostitsin waiting for it. Got it. It was a wrist shot towards the net. Nick Schultz blocked it. He got it to Ryan Smith, and Ryan Smith got it out to center. Craig Smith can't gain the line. Roman Josi turned back. He'll give it to Weber. Fired in by Erat. Waiting for it in court. He'll let it go for Josi, but Josi was checked. by Jones. Jones moving in shorthanded. Second opportunity shorthanded for Jones. What an effort. Pecorine took a look behind him and made the save. And Ryan Jones, a couple of chances. The best one shorthanded. He wants a penalty.
Absolutely. You know, there's a little bit of a elbow shiver here by way of there's a penalty. You have to be fast. You have to create the
penalty is over. And quickly back the other way comes Everly. Everly got Petrie with him. Everly centering pass. Nugent Hopkins walks in, fires a shot. Pecorine makes the save. Everly behind the net to Hall. Hall trying to put it out in front and does. It comes back to the point. But pinching in was Schmid. Petrie picks it up back into his own zone. Quickly up for Everly. Everly trying to get it to Hall, but Taylor
Purchase TurtleTellus.com in the rapid pre-completed entry.
Into the second period, and that has been the only scoring so far.
They're going to try and open it.
But not by much, period, and that has been the only scoring so far. Rich Bloom scored 51 seconds into the second period, and that has been the only scoring so far. John Fader.
Jordan 2-2. The Nashville Predators cut the Oilers lead to 2-1.
Not by much, 17-13.
Yeah, and obviously an area that Edmonton wants to pick up here, and they've started to get a few more chances off the rush here and open up a little bit and attack Nashville. Down 3-0, and goaltending change around the knee, steps in for Devin Nugent. Yeah, they're going to try and open up a little bit here, but not too much. You can't ignore it. That next one. Yeah, and obviously an area that
has been the only scoring so far. Josh Fader, the Predators, but not by much. 17-13.
Yeah, and obviously an area that Edmonton wants to pick up here, and they've started to get a few more chances off the rush here and open up a little bit and attack Nashville. And down 3-0, a goaltending change. Around the knee, stepped in for Devin Nugent. You know, they're going to try and open it up a little bit here, but not too much. You can't afford to give up that next one. You're down by 3. Stay composed. You do get an opportunity to attack aggressive.
Ryan Whitney and Justin Schultz put up a little bit there on the blue line right now. Blocked. We're down to 35 seconds. For leg one, his fourth goal came in without a goal in his last 8 games. An unassisted marker. And 18:51. Louis, you see a lot of those in spring training, the bad hot. A shortstop will get an error, a goalie gets a goal. Yakupov. Oilers want to get out of this period and will. Being outshot.
More rough stuff out here. Obviously, Edmonton started
this. View site. Create button. Pause keyboard short. Seek slider. 40 minutes. 49 minutes. 4.
Called on the offside.
49.
By Pecorine.
5. Yep, a lot.
The big title, the ATB Financial Playoff.
In that department, and he covers up that shot by Ben Eager. Tell us Oilers hockey.
2-1 Oilers.
Stone Arena.
The series.
Up that shot by Ben
Eager. 1 game apiece.
Tell us Oilers hockey. In that department,
2012 Stanley Cup Conference Finals.
Tell us Oilers hockey. And
tell us Oilers hockey.
And here in that hockey, United Canada.
The WHL playoffs are coming to Renshaw Place starting March 22nd, and the Edmonton Oil Kings are looking to defend their Western Hockey League title. The ATB Financial Playoff Pass is available at oilkings.ca. For just $99, you can secure your seat to every Oil Kings home playoff game. Season tickets can also be renewed at oilkings.ca. Renew by March 13th for terrific incentives like $50 in Oil Renew by March 13th for terrific incentives like $50 in Oil Kings bucks per seat and additional playoff tickets.
Ryan Smith set to take this draw against Paul Gostad. Off the scramble. Gostad able to put it out off the glass. Whitney gloved that ahead. And we get the whistle. Gostad third in the league in faceoffs. Came in at 62%.
That could have got a can in that. Underneath and let up. And when he started, I let him.
Third power play for the Nashville Predators. They are 1 for 2. They have generated 5 shots with the man advantage. The Oilers still looking for their first power play as that puck went quickly into the Predators. They are 1 for 2. They have generated 5 shots. Into the Predators' bench.
And Kevin, for Zach Wojcik, you know, the player for Nashville that had that opportunity there, just picked up on waivers, as you've mentioned before. And Petrotz wants to see something develop from him. And he says it's up to the players that we pick to go up here and do something in this game. For Wojcik, that's the second puck penalty that he's drawn in this game. Something in this game. For Wojcik, that's the second puck penalty that he's drawn in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn, pretty good start drawn in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn.
Fires it around the glass and gets that puck out. Pecorine directing traffic. Laid it off them. In boards and ended up in the Oilers' possession. Schmid shorthanded. Out there with Smith and Gagne. 3 shorthanded goals for the Oilers. An opportunity right here thrown towards the net by Schmid. That one goes wide and Weber picks it up. Got to get Ryan Jones out there. He's had 2 great chances shorthanded. As Fisher brings it in, drops it back. Kostitsin trying to get it back to Weber, but a good active stick there by Sam Gagne. Gagne and Petrell killing the penalties along with Schmid and Petrie. A penalty that has 47 seconds left in it. 8:20 left to go in this second period as Martin Erat lines up. Fires the puck around the board.
The Oilers
waiting for it there with Smith that comes back to the middle and chucked down the ice by Mike Brown. All sorts of jets there as he beat Weber to the puck, and he's got possession. Great hustle by Mike Brown. And he's still got it. He'll play it back to the point. Schmid throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Great penalty kill for the Oilers. They have dominated and not allowed the Predators to get set up at all. 8 seconds to go. Erat fires a shot. That one deflected over top of the net. He's got it again, but time is winding down. And now the penalty's over. Whitney's out of the box and has the puck right now. Tips it in. The Oilers want to get a change, but Louis, you talk about little things to build on. You talked about patience, and that we saw on that penalty kill and some positives.
Yeah, some real positives. You mentioned Mike Brown a couple of times there, too. Obviously, one of the roles that he is going to take on coming here to Edmonton is the fact that he can kill penalties as well. He's a fast guy. He gets pucks in deep. He's physical, and he's strong enough to hold guys off and eat up some time. Good job by him in the offensive zone. But when you're down 3-0, you don't want to give that next goal up to the Nashville Predators. There's still 7:19 left in the second period, a third period to go. You never know what's going to happen to get that one and have that trickle-down effect where everybody starts to rally and get going. And a good, solid penalty kill there. As Mike Brown showing a few wear and tears there, too, on that scrap with Boone. Those guys were chucking him earlier in the game. Does some good penalty killing there.
Well, we saw this movie last night in Detroit down 3-0. And, Louis, you broke down the breakdown, and here an opportunity for the Oilers again. But this time, an opportunity to stay within their structure, stay within the game plan. And as you mentioned, lots of time left. Eberle with the puck being watched by Kevin Klein. He'll give it to Schmid, who's down low, drops to the corner, and then knocked down by Gostad was Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers, though, able to keep it in. Paul emerges, but the puck gets away. And quickly brought back by Clune. To Boychuk, just out of his reach to knee, sweeps that aside. Gets it again, centers it out in front. Long shot, and that one's tipped away. As Bartley let that one go. Bartley playing in his first National Hockey League game.
Nice confidence shown there, and as we mentioned earlier, he played a year and a half with Jordan Eberle in Regina in the WHL. And nice little offensive move there. Takes the puck and drags it back, finds that open shooting lane, and gets it through.
26 points in 54 games. The AHL affiliate in Milwaukee. Team with a 3-0 lead with just under 6 minutes to go in the period. Gagne from a sharp angle, hit Hannon with it. And it comes back to the point. Justin Schultz is there. He'll give it to Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Yakupov and get it right back again. Near side, Justin Schultz throws it towards the net. Deflected by Magnus Bjarvi, and then a shot that just missed from Sam Gagne. Pressure now. Took a weird hop off the stanchion, but kept in by the Oilers as they get the cycle going. Here's Yakupov. Turning. Yakupov to Schultz. Nick Schultz. Quick angle shot, then that one goes right through the blue paint. Kept in again by the Oilers. Magnus Bjarvi gets knocked down by Scott Hannon as he plays it behind the net. The Oilers want to get a change in while keeping the puck in the Predators' zone. Legwand works it out to center. He wants to make a change, and that puck touched the bench of the Predators. TELUS Oilers hockey from Nashville, the bench of the Predators.
It's 2-1 for the Oilers.
The bench of the Predators.
In Nashville.
TELUS Oilers hockey.
It's TELUS Oilers hockey.
The
it's
bench
hockey day
of the
Canada.
Predators. TELUS Oilers hockey from Nashville.
With the departure of Lindy Ruff from an NHL bench, Barry Trotz is now the most tenured National Hockey League coach, and we take you back to the day that he was hired. It was a long time ago, a flashback of when the Nashville Predators hired their first ever NHL head coach. Well, he was a lot younger. David Perreault, the GM then, and still the general manager. There's his hockey mugshot to tell everybody, yes, I can smile. He's not often seen doing that behind the bench, and this was opening night when he came out to celebrate his hiring as the Nashville Predators head coach. 512 wins the way he's going. It may be a while before Nashville trots out another coach to replace him.
Jack Adams finalist 2010 and 2011. Whitney, a wrist shot, doesn't make it through, hit the stick of Martin Erat.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Barry Trotz has never won the Coach of the Year. When you look at what he's done over the years here in Nashville, 7 of the last 8 years he's made the playoffs. Only coach to do that in the NHL in the last 8 years, and twice now, both last two years they've gotten to the second round. So a real nice job by him.
And for David Legwand, in his pro career, Louis the only coach and only GM he's ever had. David Boyle and Barry Trotz. That's got to be rare. Ladislav Schmid cuts off Bork. Gets the puck to Petrie. Petrie under pressure there from Colin Wilson. Bork on the intercept in behind the net. Schmid battling with him. Wilson comes up with the puck. He'll play it back to the point. Weber waiting for it. Weak wrist shot. The backboard, a quick shot by Wilson, and a nice speed by Bork. The puck is still alive. Denis down. He gets the whistle and keeps the puck out.
In one of those situations where a goaltender, because he has to come up with such an acrobatic save, can't really recover, and he doesn't want to move. Wants to stay strong.
Jones sends it around the boards. Weber's going to cut it off. 3:43 to go. Backhand slides right through.
Well, a lot of those little plays right around the net by Nashville. Just good job putting that puck around, and that guy always a presence in front of the Edmonton net.
And Pacific.
15, the team. And as the guys have mentioned, fewest shots in the league, lowest scoring team. Averaging just 1.96 goals per game coming into this one. They've got 3 here. Denis behind the net. Left it there for Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Justin. Belanger lost it to Gostad. Gostad plus Steetson and Kloon. They're up front, Klein and Bartley. On the blue line for a Nashville Predators team that is sitting at 9, 9, and 5. The Oilers hitting the halfway point tonight. This time last year, Edmonton was 12, 10, and 2 after 24 games. Schultz to Gagne. Going for the net is Yakupov. Gagne trying to get it there. Fires it over top of the net. Gets by Magnus Bjarvi. Picked up there by Bork. And he will outlet for Bartlett. After Bartlett sends that puck in, Denis scoops it around the boards. Ryan Whitney gets away from Legwand. Yakupov with some speed. Here comes Dale Yakupov with Gagne. Cuts to the middle. Backhand towards the net. Great chance. Pecorine stretched out. That's 6'5". Got both pads right across the goal mouth. Sharp angle shot, why not, for Sam Gagner. Yakupov throws a hit.
Yeah, Yakupov, a couple of real good shifts here in the second period. He's found his legs and skating, got a couple shots through, and that one there, the backhand had eyes that almost got through Rene, and when he skates and moves with the puck like that, hard guy to handle. And I'm sure you might see him get a little bit more ice time throughout this game. Those young legs get him in action in a back-to-back situation.
Boychuk with it now. Zach Boychuk turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned and flattened. And then Fisher. Boychuk with it now. Zach Boychuk turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned.
Here's Mike Fisher. Scores! Mike Fisher ties the game at 3. And we just got over 2 minutes left in the second.
First goal as a Nashville Predator.
And he had good work down low. Again, this has been the template all game long so far for Nashville. Behind the net, redirection here by Boychuk. As he just deflects it home on a real nice redirection. Got a big blast from Weber, trapping in front perfectly.
Weber. Look at that. Something from Boychuk.
Boychuk earlier on. Probably went through that one a little later. Boychuk, there, Rene to go around the nice redirection. And scores his first goal with the Nashville Predator in his first game after being picked up on waivers. So you want to make an impression?
Play night and for the second straight period. The Nashville Predators get a goal to in the period. There's 8:51.
2-0 down.
Scored
and the Predators
in the period.
Tied the game at 2.
Lingwon scored in here 18:22. It is Zach Boychuk who makes it a 4-0 game.
Fisher. It's a 2-2 tie.
And the guy who played his junior hockey in Red Deer, Martin Erat, gets 1 assist, and Shea Weber gets the other.
Zach Boychuk.
All stems from that work down low, Kevin. Very good job in this game tonight by Nashville. Something that they've been talking about for the last 3 days. They've had options playing Monday in Los Angeles in that 5-1 loss. And they were pretty upset about that. Only 1 game in the last 6 games played. So they had a lot of meetings. And Shea Weber told us this morning they came out prepared for this one.
Erat shot, another opportunity. Brett Smith missed the open net. Weber turns, fires it towards the net. Nashville buzzing right now. Smith trying to bank it in. He'll go after it. He was tied up by Ryan Smith. Less than a minute to go in the period.
The buzzing is right together. Hit the nail right in the head.
50 seconds left in the period. Bartley fires it around the boards.
The Predators come back from 2-0 down.
Wins that puck battle, and he'll start away and give it to his D partner, Ryan Whitney. Quickly to Gagner. Gagner down the right side to Whitney. Whitney plays it to the corner. Magnus Piarvi behind the net for Gagner. Piarvi takes the look. He's got Whitney in front, broken up by Gostad, but there's Theo Peckham with a shot, and it rises over top of the net. Peckham behind the net. That's Piarvi to Yakupov. Turn out in front. And it comes to off the of Whitney. Here's a wraparound by Magnus Piarvi. It comes to Oilers all over.
Here is Magnus Piarvi. Piarvi scores! With 3.3 seconds left. The game winner in the second period.
And 2 goals.
And now they will make it 3-2 to end the second period.
By Gostad.
And Magnus Piarvi gets his third.
Junior hockey. And he'll go after
that action in front. Watch us drive wide by Smith as he tries to get the wraparound going, and the stick check by his old Wisconsin teammate Justin Schultz at the last second there. Second heavy action in front of the knee. Schultz at the last second there. Wisconsin teammate Justin Schultz at the last second there. Second heavy action in front of the knee.
Second straight.
Last second there. Second heavy action in front of the knee.
Second straight game. As the second period comes to an end. 2 periods in the book. Second period comes to an end. 2 periods. As the second period the Oilers comes to an end.
A 3-2
2
lead.
periods.
This is
the
game
second
3.
period comes to an end.
Trying to serve that one
relieves.
the Stanley Cup
Second
playoffs.
period.
What
Away
they're
neatly.
crossing today.
Now pressure goals for Nashville.
4-0 lead. That's
Today. 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second, a total of 4 on the part of the Nashville Predators through 2 periods of play. We want to talk to you about a Nashville company called Swiftwick, and this is a sock that they're trying to get other NHL teams to wear, and they were trying this morning with the Edmonton Oilers. First off, it's got kind of a sweat area here where the sweat is supposed to release all the way to the bottom, and then it releases out. Usually NHL players have holes at the bottom of their skates, but more importantly is this microfiber right here. You know the injury to Eric Carlson, all the talk about Kevlar socks, and this is an alternative, not as bulky, not as difficult to wear. So what we've done is I've actually got one on, and I'm just going to heads up with that skate. Don't do that at home. So there it is, and look at that. There you see it right there. It's pretty difficult to cut, so that's good news. The Edmonton Oilers, in fact, about 8 of them are using them this evening. Now, one of them is Eric Alonso. They want to see if it's something that can keep them safer. Pro hockey players can be a bit superstitious about what they wear. We'll see if the Oilers continue to wear them. Louis and Kevin.
All right, Gene. And Louis, you wonder if that starts to become a mandatory thing once the technology allows it to be comfortable. Guys don't even think about it. It's like wearing a helmet. You just part of your safety equipment.
I mean, I think the most important
Nashville.
put them on when you wear certain preferences, but in that case, that's an easy one to change in my opinion.
Absolutely. Third period underway. The Oilers trying to build some momentum. Get something positive out of this one. Down 4-0 to extend the series. Get something positive out to 2-1. The Oilers and they will go up at 3-1.
That's an easy one to change in my opinion.
Absolutely. Third period underway.
In that case, that's an easy.
Trying to keep that puck in at the blue line. Does a good job of that.
Crowd cheers.
The Oilers will be in Chicago on Sunday. Finish up this road trip in Colorado on Tuesday. Those 2 teams meeting tonight in Nashville, in Denver.
And that's
Jordan Eberle against Shea Weber. Edmonton back to the point. Whitney with it now. Throws it through traffic. And that one gets deflected wide. Hall was in front. Boychuk outlets to Weber. Shea Weber takes a look, fires it around the boards. Waiting for it there, Erad. He'll let it go for Boychuk. Throws it towards the net. Here's Yossi stepping into a shot to be the save. Hall picks it up and starts away. Eberle flips that puck in. On the near side, it's cleared by Erad right up to Mike Fisher. Fisher goes cross ice, and there is Yossi's shot. Steered aside by Denis. Denis on in relief. Now Devin Dubnyk, who gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in the first period. And Ralph Kruger just said something, Louis, and that second goal by Legua, it was not Devin Dubnyk's night.
Yeah, I think it was the right call, obviously for Devin Dubnyk, played a lot of hockey. Big hit there, and the boards opened up as Peckham comes in and catches Gabriel Brook with a good shot there. But for Denis, letting the second shot that he faced in that second period, a couple shots were whacked at him from Clune. He put one by him, but other than that, he's been pretty darn solid. The goals that have gone by him. The fourth one wasn't one that you would say he would have as a high deflection. So he's played pretty well. But for Nashville, they've just done a great job of continuing to get pucks in deep, continuing to get shots to the net. Very good job boxing out Edmonton in the defensive zone. It's like a one-and-done attack in the offensive zone for Edmonton tonight.
Oilers outshot the Nashville Predators in that second period, 10-8. They trail 23-19.
Yeah, they actually outshot Nashville in that second period, 10-8. So, I mean, it was that type of a period. But again, a lot of those shots from the perimeter for Edmonton, and that's something that Nashville wants to try and maintain, is keeping things to the outside, and those clearing attempts have been pretty solid tonight. Shea Weber's been real strong in the defensive zone, going head-to-head with the Nugent-Hopkins line, and they're not giving them a whole lot of time in the offensive zone.
Energy line out there now. Ryan Smith moving in, snaps a shot. Pecorine makes the save at Elanga.
This perfectly preserved uniform came to us via a generous donation from our champion's wife.
Get your game on with Pools.
Theo Packer's been a physical presence tonight for Edmonton. Has got involved with a couple players out there. Here he catches Gabriel Bourque on the right-hand side, and the penalty box explodes open after he finishes that check. So good to see Peckham back after missing the last couple with a little bit of food poisoning, as Gene was talking about earlier, and playing his physical self.
Got involved with Paul Gostad. Didn't have much of a chance. He went down. Speaking of going down, so does Kevin Klein right over top of Schultz, and then Clune cross-checks Schultz. The Oilers still looking for their first power play opportunity in the last couple of games.
Last 5 periods. They haven't drawn one there. And, you know, that wasn't a real vicious cross-check by Clune, but it certainly was enough to knock a player down. And it was Justin Schultz that was in there on the forecheck as a defenseman.
Gostad in front against Justin Schultz. The puck comes free for Gagne. Sam Gagne gets to the blue line, flips it in. He's going to peel off on a change. You know, the Oilers came into this game without a power play goal in their last 4 games, but they only got 7 chances in 4 games coming in. Boychuk plays it around behind the net. Now he'll go after it against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Eberle sees it go by him. Little help from Theo Peckham to Hall. And Hall bangs that puck out to center. Close checking. Now as Fisher goes after it against Nick Schultz. Fisher. Down to the other side it goes. Boychuk waiting for it there. He's got Gabriel Bourque out in front. That's Colin Wilson. Wilson driving to the net. Wilson trying to jam it in. And he does. Wow. What a hard-working goal for the lead point getter on this Nashville. Eberle sees it go by him. Little help from Theo Peckham to Hall. And Hall bangs that puck out to center. From Theo Peckham to Hall. And Hall bangs that puck out to center. Close checking. Now as Fisher goes after it against Nick Schultz. Close check to Hall. And Hall bangs that puck out to center. Close checking. Now as Fisher goes after it against Nick Schultz. Fisher. Down to the other side it goes. Boychuk waiting for it there. He's got Gabriel Bourque out in front. That's Colin Wilson. Wilson driving to the net. Wilson trying to jam it in. And he does. Fisher. Butler let it go. Craig Smith in the 6 games. Gets some help from Ryan Smith. Puck comes to Eron. He gets it out. Ryan Whitney gets possession, gives it right to Brown. Whitney takes a look. The Oilers want to make a change. 14:20 left to go in the 3rd period. Eager going after it. Ben Eager playing in his 400th National Hockey League game tonight. And Wilson against Whitney. Against Whitney.
Pause, create image.
Klein with the rush for the Predators. Kevin Klein goes cross ice, stepping into a shot there.
Retired it.
Period.
A little shuffle here by Ralph Kruger as well, Kevin. You see Peckham out there with Schultz, with mixing and matching some things here late in this game. Try and shuffle things up, see how things go.
Yakupov centers it. Gagne and Piyarvi together. Here's Theo Peckham.
Peckham and Gostad had words before that faceoff was dropped as they were coming back from commercial break.
Rennie makes this in the Music City Tuesday in Colorado. Second game back after this road trip, Lou. They'll have to exact a little revenge against this Nashville team.
Yeah, they played this team 3 times, including tonight in the next 18 days, so we'll see enough of each other to not like each other.
Schmid down low, tried to center it, didn't work. Wojciech gets it out. March 17th in Edmonton. March 25th. We'll be right back here in Nashville. Everly tied up there by Klein as the puck comes around the boards. The Oilers trying to make a change. The puck squirted free off the stick of Justin Schultz. Wojciech trying to take advantage. Whitney with it now. Whitney right in front of his own net. Legwine looking for anything he could grab. Colin Wilson, good stick to keep it in. Wilson centering pass. Comes to Hall. Taylor Hall down the left side. He'll drop it all the way back. It went by Justin Schultz. And the Oilers reboot. Hanna keeps it in. He'll get it to Legwine. David Legwine from the corner. Quick shot by Bork goes wide. Ellis takes a hit from Petrell. Now he gets a steal. And a backhand shot, and that one doesn't make it through. Wilson all over it. Takes a hit from Petrell. Legwine put it out in front, trying to get it to Bork, but Whitney was there on the intercept, and then Bork returned the favor and shot it back in to allow Nashville to make a change.
Good reload there by Bork. Gets really quickly back on the defensive side of things, and that one kind of just luckily hits him in the skates, but because he gets back hard, he's in the right position. That line's been really good. Legwine, Wilson, and Bork tonight for Nashville, just really solid on the cycle down low, strong on the walls, and very good defensively. And Colin Wilson, as we mentioned, having a three-point night already. Terrific night for him.
Pecorine lays it off the boards, and a quick out for the Nashville Predators, and this is Erat. Craig Smith, given a bump there by Theo Peckham. Bouncing puck in the high slot, and Dan Eager picks it up. Eager lays it off the boards, looking for Brown. Too far for him. Weber bounces it out. Schmid to Smith. Ryan Smith playing in his 47th game against the Nashville Predators. He has picked up 39 points. But nobody has gotten a puck by Pecorine. 3 shutouts on the season for him. All 3 shutouts have come here in Nashville.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware. Home on.
And then don't forget, Calgary Flames will take on to get. Well, every team wants to be that team that gives Chicago its first regulation loss of the season. Right now, the Hawks are losing to the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-1. Now, either way, the two teams will meet again for a second time in the Flames road trip Sunday at 5 Mountain Time. And don't forget, after we're done here, Roger Millions, Charlie Simmer, and Rob Kerr will be hard at work as the Calgary Flames will take Roger Millions, Charlie Simmer, and Rob Kerr will be hard at work as the Calgary Flames will take on the Anaheim Ducks.
And Gene, no matter what happens in Colorado, nobody, Louis, has beaten Chicago in regulation at the United Center. So the Oilers will get a crack at that on Sunday.
Look at you just looking ahead on it.
Tomorrow or Saturday, either way. Whitney with it now. Crosses the blue line, takes a look. There's a pass to the middle. Picked up by Gagne. Gagne takes a shot, and that one goes over top of the net. Yakupov's got it now. Nail Yakupov. Magnus Pjarvi. Pjarvi to Whitney at the point. Whitney under pressure there from Klein. Bork at center. Gets it to Legwine. David Legwine moves to the middle. Legwine still has it. Tricks it back, and there is Ellis with a big shot. The rebound. Bork looking for it. Hanna on the far side. On the near side, Ellis pitching in. Gagne gets there first. Bork with a quick stick. Keeps it in temporarily, and now an opportunity for Everly. Everly one-on-one against Hanna. Sends it behind the net. And Pecorine stops it there. He's got Taylor Hall bearing down on him. He'll give it to Mike Fisher. Quickly up for Erat. And that'll go back to Fisher. A couple of points for number 12. It's a pretty famous wife, I understand. You think? Schultz. Nick Schultz. Lost it. Wojciech gives it to Erat. Gets it back again. Trying to get a shot away and paid the price as Nick Schultz takes him down with the biggest hit of the night for the Edmonton Oilers. Yep. Hall. 1-on-2. Brings it across the line. Still has it. Taylor Hall. Right to Nugent Hopkins from a sharp angle. And Rennie the save. Nick Schultz.
The Nashville Predators with a big hit. We'll take a break. Play outstanding result is brought to you by Remax, Canada's most productive agents. Oh, it's going to be the last goal that the Nashville Predators have scored. It's been Colin Wilson, 3 points on the night now with this goal. And what a nice individual effort by him as he does a little button hook, gets to the net, just drives it home. Not always pretty, but he was looking for a pass, couldn't find one, so he said, I'm taking this one to the post myself, and it rewards him with a goal. And 3 points on the night so far.
18 points on the season. 12 of those points have come here at home. Petrell fires that puck in. Ryan Jones going after it against Scott Hannon. Smith tied up behind the net by Eric Belanger. Belanger gets tripped up. Petrell gets the puck. Petrell, Belanger, and Jones. Ryan Jones had a couple of great chances shorthanded. And you wonder, Louis, sometimes the complexion of a game changes when you get a shorthanded goal. The Oilers have 3 this year. Jones hops the pass over the stick of Petrell. Sent in by Bourque. Picked up by Justin Schultz. He's out there now with Ladislav Schmid as Leguan brings it in from Boychuk, trying to get it back to him. Wilson to Boychuk, and he was knocked down by Schmid in behind the net, and Ben Eager comes away. Eager trying to chip it in, but broken up by Klein, and it's offside at the Nashville blue line.
Ben Eager trying to get that puck in deep and establish a forecheck, and it's been a chore all night long for Edmonton, and you really have to hand it to Nashville tonight. They knew they had a team coming in here. They played last night in Detroit, came in here late last night. They had the second game in 2 nights. They've had the rest, and they've been the better team here with the more energy, and they've played the right way, getting pucks in deep, making it a tough night for Edmonton. It hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this one, and have continued it throughout this game. Now up 5-0 with just over 7 minutes left in the game.
3-game losing streak for Nashville that saw them score just 3 goals. Outscored 12-3. They've got 5 here. 6:50 to go in the third period. The Steetson. 6:50 to go in the third period. Game 3. The Steetson. Klein. Throws it towards the net when whistled wide. Yakupov on the far side with Magnus Bjarvi. Magnus Bjarvi and Yakupov. Nail Yakupov. Whitney the trailer with a shot. Ready to save. Gagne trying to find Yakupov. He gets tied up, but Magnus Bjarvi carries on. And once again, defenseman coming down low. It was Nick Schultz's turn, but a great chance for Whitney.
Like to see Whitney jumping up there. A real nice pass by Yakupov as he gets it wide, finds Whitney late. Good redirection right on to Pecorine. So a high-quality chance off the rush by Edmonton.
23 shots for the Oilers. Everly bringing in now. He centers. There's a shot by Schultz. And it's steered aside by Remy and back the other way. Come the Nashville Predators. Boychuk can't get the shot away. Blocked by Theo Becker. Weber unable to keep it in at the point. Nugent Hopkins, Everly, and Hall, the forward line now. Mike Fisher trying to dump that puck in against Everly. Jordan Everly to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins across the blue line. Hopkins against Yossi. Gets it to Hall. Back to the point it comes. Ladislav Schmid now with a wrist shot. That one goes wide. Bourque against Petrie, chopping at it. Petrie couldn't keep it in at the blue line. Schmid's got it now. He's going to chip it and chase it against Weber. Those two come together in the corner. The Oilers make a change. Ryan Jones trying to help out. Petrell waiting for anything to come loose. Finally the puck does, but it's in the possession of the Nashville Predators. Butler chips it in, pays the price as Petrie takes him into the boards.
Good finish there by Petrie. Butler had a real head of steam there, was looking to go wide and chip in charge. And Petrie just stopped him in his tracks.
Jones sweeps it in. Rainey stops it behind the net, takes his time, fires it around the glass, trying to get it by Belanger. Picked up there by Boychuk. Now to Ryan Ellis. Ryan Ellis. That's intended for Butler. Didn't work, but it does come to Smith. For Smith trying to gain the zone. Penalty coming up to the Edmonton Oilers. Van Eager going to go over and touch it. And that will get the whistle. And that will get the fourth power play for the Predators when we come back. Ryan Whitney looking for his third goal of the season. Ryan Whitney looking for his third goal of the season.
Goal in the playoffs.
This is looking for his third goal of the season.
In the 2013 season, Rexall Place rental suites are located on 2 levels, providing privacy and comfort for groups of 12 to 36. Enjoy each thrilling moment of fast-paced Edmonton hockey while entertaining business partners, employees, or friends, or all of the above. For more information, call 780-409-5897 or email Bob Harreby, bob.h@edmontonoilers.com.
Ryan Jones in the penalty box. 2 minutes for elbowing. Fourth down for the Nashville Predators.
For a 3-2
play of this period. The Oilers still don't have one.
It's 8-3.
His opponents are finishing a check on elbow.
Into the Edmonton Predators will look for a tie game.
His opponents are finishing a check on elbow.
Generated 5 shots. The power play did not get a shot the last time they had the power players. Colin Wilson with a shot. Lets it go. Steered aside by Denise. Wilson with it again. 3-point night for him as it comes back to Kostecin at the point. He'll give it to Wilson. Wilson moves to the middle. Wilson still has it. Dishes off. Dishes off the bar. Weber let it go. Kostecin again. Sergei Kostecin now to Weber. Weber being watched by Belanger, who's out there with Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Craig Smith from the corner. Craig Smith stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Weber with it. Weber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. It dies. Peckham and Nick Schultz. Craig Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the being watched by Belanger, who's out there with Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Craig Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes. Craig Smith from the corner.
3 weeks away.
Stopped by Peckham
for the Stanley Cup final.
Craig Smith from the corner. Belanger is out there with Brown, Peckham, and now to Weber. Weber being watched by Belanger. Kostecin again. Sergei Kostecin now to Weber. Weber
of the Stanley Cup
by Belanger is out there with Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Craig Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Weber with it. Weber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. Scores from the corner. With a power play goal by Patrick Hornquist, who is out of the game after a hit. By Theo Peckham. Great save there by Jan Denis off Bobby Butler. 3 minutes left to go in the game.
Left to go in the third period. In game 3. 3-2 Edmonton.
16:39, the time of power play goal.
The Oilers.
16:39, the time of power play goal. 9 power play goals at home. And that will Boychuk let it go. Off the crossbar and into the net. Nashville Predators, lowest scoring team in the league. On fire. Really on fire. It's a goal tonight. On injured reserve for Nashville. Matt Hauschuk's down the line. Here's Aaron with a shot. Broke his early here. Just kind of soccers it back to Rene so he can hang on to it.
Well, you know, the Nashville Predators have been all over Edmonton in this game here. And Jan Denis, who went in relief of Devin Dubik for the second period. Watch this save here. Coming towards the net, just drives his blocker up, gets it up over top of the net. The one-time attempt on a real nice pass by Colin Wilson. And for Denis, he's had a lot of bodies in front of him, a lot of shots come his way. A few have gotten by him, but he's made some real nice saves too.
32 shots the Predators have taken. Average 24 coming into this one. Ryan Smith from the corner. Smith with Brown and Eager.
Here's Ryan Smith.
The energetic
pass. Oh, what a stop by Nikolai Eberle. 2.5 left to go in the third period.
Edmonton Oilers trying to generate some kind of energy here. In the last couple of minutes of this hockey game before they head to Chicago.
2 wins away.
Colin Wilson against
to head to the Stanley Cup final.
Wilson 4 points on the night. 2 straight goals here in this third period. 1 on the power play.
NHL season.
The Oilers waits for the Oilers to make a change.
Well,
the Oilers waits for the Oilers to make a change. Justin Schultz takes a look. Pass for Petrell, broken up by Weber.
And what a save!
You mentioned Colin Wilson there, Kevin, and I had a chance to be a teammate for a very short period of time with his dad, Kerry, in New York. I was drafted by the Rangers, and much like Colin, the fact that he was a real solid individual, a score, short period of time with his dad, Kerry, in New York.
YouTube video, no.
I was drafted by the Rangers, and much like Colin, the fact that he was a real solid individual, a scorer, an offensive-minded player, but a strong guy to boot, and Colin's no different. You watch him tonight, and he's just has been a force down low, has been more physical along the walls, and has finished a couple real nice plays off, that's for sure.
Back comes in the middle. Less than a minute to go in this one.
10th win of the postseason.
Whitney to Jones.
Here is Ryan Smith. Cody Instrom with a pass.
Opportunities early in this game. Gets one here. Takes it to Callaway against Fisher.
2 minutes, 1 minute left to go in the third.
8 seconds left in this one.
The
Nashville Predators will come into this game 11th in the West with just
coming back from 2-0 down after the Predators score. And the Oilers with 3 seconds left. The Oilers will win this series. And they will go into game 4 again.
25 points. Difficult. Boychuk, quick shot. Left to go. Go above the 500 mark. They'll have 25 points. We'll see their record.
We're not done yet.
Go above the 500 mark. They'll have 25 points.
The Oilers,
when they play in the very difficult Central Division, when you've got the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks to contend with.
In the postseason.
Justin Schultz. Boychuk, quick shot. Bouncing puck for Erat. Hands up in the corner. 25 seconds left to go. By Erat with a leg one.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Sangani with it now. He'll flip it out. Get it out to center. Bringing it right back in. It's Scott Hannon with a shot that goes off the stick of Whitney and up into the net. Everybody here at Bridgestone Arena, Louis, standing there applauding their team.
And rightfully so, and I'll tell you what, you talk about a 60-minute effort. I mean, they're only 6 seconds away from the 60-minute effort. Tell you what, you talk about a 60-minute effort. I mean, they're only 6 seconds away from the 60-minute effort, the Nashville Predators. But they have not relented in this game. And that last shift there, you saw Boychuk go in aggressively, get a chance. Erat followed up for a second chance. They're up 6-0 in the game. They're out shooting Edmonton 33-24, and they're not stopping. And I mean, with a team that's only won 1 game in their last 6, this is the way they have to play. They came out on a mission, and they get a last shot in the last 9 seconds. So it's full 60-minute.
Hang on.
On a mission, and they get 1 game in their last 6 seconds. So it's full. They came out on a mission, and they get a last shot in the last 9 seconds.
For game 4. On Saturday.
Tellus
Edmonton Oilers, their 5th straight. Bill snaps a 4-game losing streak by handing the Edmonton Oilers their 5th straight loss. Streak by handing the Edmonton Oilers their 5th straight loss.
Tellus Oilers
The Stanley Cup playoff.
Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Tellus, the future is friends. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
Let's take a look at the 3-star selection brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's brewed with the best this land has to offer.
Clune was involved in this game in more ways than one. A goal, 3 hits, a fight, had a real effective night. Pecorino, as you mentioned, 4th shutout of the season for him. Not a real busy one, but certainly a shutout. And Colin Wilson, the best player on the ice tonight. 2 goals, 2 assists. great defensively and a physical force. He's your first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the Honda Center. The Calgary. Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the Honda Center. The Calgary Flames and you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the Honda Center. The Calgary, take it away.